Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking into how sustainability is getting woven into accounting education.
Right.
We've got this systematic review, 56 papers since 2000. The plan is to pull out the key insights, especially with things like the ISSB standards and the EU's CSRD, making sustainability reporting so, well, crucial now.
Absolutely. And, the first thing that really jumps out is just how much this area has accelerated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was stuff before, but it feels like it really took off around, say, 2017. There were these peaks in publications in 2018, 2020, 2022.
Interesting.
It's just sustainability isn't just some side topic anymore. It's pretty central in accounting academia now, probably mirroring those global shifts and regulations you mentioned.
Makes sense. So if someone's trying to follow this, where are the hotspots? Any particular journals leading this conversation?
Definitely. You'll see a lot in the International Journal of Sustainability in Higher Education. Also Sustainability, that's the one from Switzerland. In accounting education, plus the Sustainability Accounting Management and Policy Journal. Those are sort of the core ones.
So quite concentrated then.
Very much so. Actually, something like the top 10 sources have over 60% of the papers, and get this, nearly 70% of the citations.
Wow. So the influential work is really clustered there.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Any specific papers that really stand out? You know, the ones everyone seems to be citing?
Well, there are a few. That Mader paper from 2013 on stakeholder perceptions, that's the most cited one. That really highlights looking beyond just, say, academics.
Got it. Stakeholders.
Then there's Sheltager's 2021 piece looking at sustainability in COVID-19, which is obviously very timely.
Right.
And some foundational stuff, too. Colson and Thompson back in '06, Gray in 2013. They were really digging into how you actually integrate this into the curriculum.
Okay.
Oh, and Ms. Sager-Sanchez et al. From 2020 looked more at the practical side, implementation within universities.
It's interesting to see the different angles. What about where this research is coming from? Is it a global view or?
That's a key point. It's heavily weighted towards Anglo-Saxon countries in Europe.
Like US, UK.
Exactly. US, Canada, UK, Australia, Spain, too. But what's quite noticeable is the lack of research coming out of Latin America, large parts of Asia, and especially Africa.
So a potential blind spot there.
Could be. It means that perspectives or challenges unique to those regions might not be fully captured in what we're seeing.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Okay, so what are the big themes these papers are tackling? What are they actually studying?
They seem to fall into roughly 4 main groups or clusters.
Okay.
The biggest one is empirical work. So studies looking at practical implementation in classrooms, getting student perspectives, that sort of thing.
Makes sense, hands-on stuff.
Then you've got essays, more about proposing theoretical ideas or different ways to approach teaching it.
Right.
A third cluster looks broader at how universities as institutions are implementing and assessing sustainability.
The whole university level.
And finally, a smaller group focuses on what other stakeholders think, employers, professional bodies, etc., beyond just the students.
Okay, clear clusters.
Yeah.
And how are they studying these things? What kind of methods are common?
It's mainly case studies, essays, and surveys.
So pretty standard social science approaches.
Pretty much. Case studies are great for digging into those implementation examples, essays, obviously, for the theory, and surveys are used a lot for gauging those perceptions we talked about.
Now, thinking about ESG, environmental, social governance, is the research looking equally at all three in the education context?
That's interesting, actually. The social and human rights side seems to get the most attention in these papers.
Really? More than environmental?
Followed by environmental, yes. But the G, the governance dimension, specifically within accounting education itself, that seems a bit less explored compared to the S and the E.
Wonder why that is. And what about teaching methods? Are they suggesting specific ways to actually do this in the classroom?
Yeah, there are definitely suggestions. Things like problem-based learning come up a lot, case studies, naturally,
Right.
and trying interdisciplinary approaches, getting students to think critically about sustainability from different angles.
And this is mostly focused on undergrad accounting.
Primarily,
Yeah.
yes. Bachelor's level accounting and related fields seem to be where most of the focus is.
Okay. And is this all grounded in theory? Are they pulling from established social science theories much?
Some studies do, but it's maybe not as widespread as you might expect.
Yeah.
Stakeholder theory gets mentioned, sometimes combined with stockholder theory.
Okay.
You also see things like theory of planned behavior or legitimacy theory pop up here and there, depending on the research cluster. But yeah, it's maybe an area where there could be more explicit theoretical framing in the future.
Right, an opportunity perhaps. So pulling this all together,
Yeah.
what are the big conclusions, the main messages from this research landscape?
I'd say three main things stand out. First, students are increasingly concerned about social and environmental issues. That seems clear.
Good to hear.
Second, there's a strong consensus that sustainability needs to be integrated throughout the accounting curriculum, not just, one optional module.
Yeah, weaving it in properly.
Exactly. And third, doing this integration well can actually broaden students' whole understanding of what accounting is for, its purpose in society.
That's a powerful point. This has been really illuminating digging into the research like this. As we wrap up, what's a final thought this leaves you with?
Well, it really shows how academia is responding to this huge shift towards sustainability. There's real momentum in accounting education. But those gaps we talked about, the geographical imbalance, the sort of under-exploration of the governance aspect in education, maybe deepening the theoretical roots,
Yeah.
these all point to really interesting directions for future work. It makes you think, doesn't it? How is this evolution in education mapping onto what's happening in business, and where does the research need to go next to keep pace?